was as this one. Yarin, Osuni, I can show will be anyhow. Where do many does to go? So what do you know? I said, Amen, Amen, Amen.
Okay, Ebusia Yini and Komo. Nkoma yedi yeshasi ache yananti so na crusade ninjino for about 6 months now yintumi entwaso and so ehwa be here say yebetwa nkoma no so na boa ama yenyina yetumi ewie series no ehunu ne yebeye. I know say it's taking a long time, and for some of you, you may not even remember baby yedisi yediwi ewo episode 19, and it was subtitled "Change the Poverty-Stricken Mind." That was the title of episode 19. I will advise in case you have forgotten all that we've studied on the money series, kindly flip back, refresh your memories so that we continue the journey from where we ended. Yeni kain fa ye Bible no na yen kokin kain asembi ewo 2 Samuel chapter number 6 verse number 1 to number 11. 2 Samuel chapter number 6. May ye chi reading no ede a free aha. Samuel ngoma etoso mienu no. Eye odifo Samuel itia eye insia. Ninchiche moa eye baako edi kosi edu baako no. Atifiasem ose ode apam adaka no eba Zion eye Israel. Na David esani shieshia Israel emerima a weyi won nyina bio won ano esi empem aduasa 30,000. Na David sorry na onene dom a oka ne ho no nyina ekọ kofri Baal Yuda se okwa kofa Nyankopon apamadaka a wobodin a eye asaforade a oti kerubin entem no din woso no efri ho aba na odi Onyankopon adaka no esi tiase nam foforo so efri Abinadab fi a ewo kokwo so no mu na Abinadab emma Usa ene Ahio ede tiase nam foforo a Nyankopon adaka sisu no koi na Ahio edi adaka nanim na David ene Israel fi nyina ede won ahodin nyina ede nsenku ene benta a wode pia enua aye mumpintin ene nyono ne nsembo ene enewrogro Awurade anim na wodru na kon ayiprobia no Usa etene ne nsa ekoka Nyankopon apam adaka no so mu efri say na ntwie no ehihimu ye na Awurade ebufu Usa na mfumso ni nti Onyankopon bɔ no wo ho na owu Nyankopon apam adaka no nkyɛn mu na David ebufu yi sɛ Awurade atwe Usa aso ɛwɔ n'ebufu mu na ofre hodin sɛ Perez Usa edi bisi ene na David esuro Awurade da no na ɔka sɛ Awurade adaka no ebeba me nkyɛn sɛn enti David ampese ode Awurade adaka no eba ne nkyɛn David kuro no mu na David de maneko Gat ni Obededom efi. Verse 11 ehia pa. Na Awurade adaka no esi Gad ni Obededom fi abosome miensa 3 months. Na Awurade ehyira Obededom eni ne fie nyina. Ma memfa 12 no enka ho. Na oka kire David say Awurade ehyira Obededom fie eni de owo nyina apam adaka no enti. Ena David kofa adaka no efri Obededom fie ede ba David krom enegiem. Amen. Anopayin komono a yedi no mede asem wei ena edi animokan. You see, when people are working so hard and trying to make money in this lifetime, most people this sort of idea be say ye womo a almost sefata say ye di ni etuom ana ye gejuom say ye benya sika efrem nchen. In this episode, no, I'm going to take it cool. Na ye di nkomo esan say ehu hia me pa. Emri bi etwem no se me sofo ben ebi anka ye de mechewa anka wonye. That's the truth. Emri bi etwem ebi a ye de mechewa enya dia anka obejimi. Why? Because at that time no I looked useless. I looked like somebody emphasubia infrini so emma. Not the best of education at the time, not the best of money at the time, not the best of body at the time. Sabrino nimdie bia nsede ni hu bia sa medi kan de me wa yemfato no maba akenkan semnim afei eba no hunemu a mi ankasa no ekomunti no ayese na mafon enye se ayese no kure de oka de na mafon. Yes, enchi no kwasem ni sabre no ebia ye de me emawa enya de a obeji because na mafon owie sabre de we a me kura no manyini nkesemi yi old best 5 years ago video bako na me de cheremu anka obi hu the difference between the then Bernard and the now Bernard. Atade papa bi eni wompo a me say just a moment, that's somebody at the naba. Enji no kwasem ni ye wonipa bebre wo a sabre no. They didn't want me in their company. Na omo mpese ombi hu se me ben wom. Even Crampo no to be identified with people no na eyeding adintia. They never for once thought, they never for once believed, say a time is coming when this Bernard who is speaking now, Abrabono and Sakraye Ebebem. Omanyeni. I remember a lot of people despise me, even if you want to take their phone numbers, they will ask you the reason for, taking the phone number. In fact, at that phase, na enye. Me and me deme hono, na minim se enche ewonafe. Adia ba kwa me de se mitrimu ne se saadie na omode ye me no mansusu se ebia daachi bi me so beba mfaso nti me sua saadie we ntem de se mitrimu se enye se ya na nipa brabo ebekọ no enchi se me hu se obi ne ho nyefe ne ho otan oni sika o mobo ejimi nya mfaso bi emfiri ne so nti na sesei bi yi mani free se nipa no so a sabre no misua sa lesson we very well e will say the means to say obetumi aboa me daache no ehonom na sese me di mani ko because ehon na me yi di be free aba you will nipa bi wasasi so a ebia by experience you've come to learn it in a better way, in a hard way. People you never expect except one day anka obeko mo ho akwa akosere bibi ana obeko mo ho akwa akobusa bibi people you never expected. That non-expectancy no abem asema make no, if you relate you can give me thumbs up. Abia, you were the victim at the time, just as I was a victim at the time. Make us same way the baby see another so. There is so much we need to know from the Bible about money. So when you will do everything humanly possible to make it, to make it in life, or probably to be successful, but it won't work. If you were a victim some years back in the family, and in the society, they never expect to say, "Ubidu baby, I will do abrabumune." And the very people who never expected you to be who you are today, now, because of that, omu behave in a way towards you. Some of them rejected you. Some of them didn't even want you in their company. If you are like that, give me thumbs up. Ebeboa ama metumi edefine enkoma me pese edina no pay. Ye onipa bebre etisa wo wiase we. Me saade no na ebi to me. Ebi anye ni se ebi ametumi edidi amombi edi. So they rejected me. Okay. They were so serious, they will not get a dime from me. Even if Christ creates a paradise and places me there. Now you're very serious, enya di ombenye sikada, and I made di amomubiedi. They treated me in a certain way some years back. But lo and behold, the story has changed. Migusua me pim komenim, just as all of you are working so hard to push through in life. Enti enkoma me pese me ni udina no pay no. Me di obedidom enkomo no esasi. So to buasi now checking the background of obedidom. He was considered worthless in society. Na yenim se obedidom ne so nimfaso. Or he lived from the family or the descendants of Goliath. Okay, Gath ni Goliath. That's same line na obedidom ofriye de eba. Na kai who say at that point na Israel are making Gath for no useless. I mean, omachimie defeat God for, and so at that point, life na obedidom ewono, it was worthless. They soon knew fast war. They never expected prosperity or money or wealth to come from that young man's life. The entire Emma May Casano story no akinkan you can see it clearly written there. So Ebra womde apamada kano sign ba Israel no. By mistake, emwana omoso apamada kano Bible no say na omu hihim. Iti ekoye say apamada kano ba betiato. Eba behefom. Ena Uza ono de nadwe mu kan enya dwembone so. Okoso sa adaka yi mu se ogisi ene nyankopon bufu yi adentia according to the principle no na eye high priest ne pe asofo mpanifo no pe eno betumi eden aso apamadaka nim for touching the ark of the covenant onyankopon ku no. You're very serious. At that point, you know, Sautia Kenkana, David became upset. Or Nebufui, Adentia, Onyankopon Ebufum, Weku, Uza. Adebena Uza ye, Apamada Kane Baba Tiashi, or Kwa Kusum Keke. This is my network. I just hope the network will not. Oh.
asasisua tioba wani just asisu afutio bia ude umfanya numei yedene wamkwana imwa binia ba wani just asisu dudu afutio bia ude umfanya numei ayesikana na seda padiye noa ayo suna na sadwe noa
sorry, Ebusia. Network. Internet no ekati. Yentua yenkomo so. Waba just like and say na yentua enkomo noa yedino so. Very important. When we are done, I'm going to post the full tape again on YouTube. Send your baby breaks by mobi to me enyano. All right. Eti waba bomodia ne sign like, share, and let's carry on with the lesson. Baby anamijina eye, obedidom. Na me chirimu say so share obedidom ne life noa na olive noa. In fact, he was considered worthless. He was considered useless. Nobody expected say sika obinyebi. Obieni na se abrantie no obiyi. Because of how wretched his life was, everybody considered say he deserved to die. And that is the reality. Odie time wa usa edin insaka apamadaka no ebra na ebeti ato na all rescue apamadaka se ne be ya entento no ede be ni siye onyankopon kum David bufu erade se wekum usa simply because wakwa koso apamadaka ni. What happened next? David is saying, there is no way Obema apamadaka na kunifi. Because right before him, he has seen somebody die because of apamadaka. Seni pana nyankupu nkunu no, oyubi ana apamadaka na oba betiafi. Ena okosum eje apamadaka nusi wonanti anto nyamie kunu. Onipa ukura dwempa sei nyankopon ekunu simply because wakoso apamadaka nim. Eti ema David esro nyankopon okan verse 9 no o say na David sro Erade dano na okan say Erade adakan no ebeba me nchen sesen adenchi na adaka ne mra me nchen na emekumi so na emesai me so. Verse 10, enti David ampese ode adaka no ebeba ne nchen. Enti ode adaka no mane ko ode mane eko obedidom fie. Adenti na David nim se apamadaka no somebody has just died because of the ark. You get the point? Somebody just died because of the ark. Obiewu because of apamadaka no. So why would David take a branch, take a dive? Now what mania ko obi fie. MFI is asking, is this live or premiered, please? MFI, you can see it's a live transmission. Okay, 80, one money at the adene ko obi fie. How? Right before you, somebody has died. Because nipano apamadaka no ordinensaka. Eti wona wo yo hinwa unim se obiewu apamadaka no. Why would you make a decision say yemfa adaka nko obifi? Ebusia monchire me. Tell me. Monfa madwen chiremra. Why do you think David, knowing very well, say somebody has died on account of the ark? Why would he decide say yem money means ye free a coin wa ye nam so ye di adaka na eko Israel no. We are taking a branch, a dive near the ako obi fufrufi. why would David do that? Again, by Namususu say, a one ichimsia or Becca say, Yamfa, Apamadaka no, Enko obedi domfi, Obian children again, mammy. Maybe so be a children again. Upon wa very well, wisdom wa MFA ewa anti kunedu wa Mavis Bawa ewa so for real chance wa Mavis Blanche wa obi anchere mususu say e de ben pa ne kan Davida oye na dwe say yemfa apamada kan enko obedi domfi e de ben ne kan no adentia ususu say what will actually motivate his decision, what actually bring your submissions. Munchira maduni. Abuzia, maybe say me nyama dwenchire. Very, very, very important. Mo mo share video later no. Se mudru ha mo nso mo de mo mfa madwenchire nye den. Emra. Why? Mo mfa madwenchire emra. So I'm reading mo on Facebook. You can bring your comments. Why do you think David, knowing very well, say he has concluded, say it is dangerous for the ark to be in his possession or be in his abode, yet he has dived into somebody's home, somebody who is not even a part of the assembly? Why do you think he will make such a decision? Wisdom says, so that even if he is destroyed, he is of no use to Israel. That's great. Thank you, technical team. Please, the voice is not in sync with what we're seeing on the screen. Don't worry, the camera I'm using is of less quality, so that's what you're going to be experiencing for now. All right, you just have to follow the lesson and forget the hitches. There's nothing we can do about it right now. I'm alone. We're going to go through it later. I will just post the original on your friend is saying YouTube. My majority say because he doesn't want to die. Okay, David doesn't want to die, but Obed-Edom deserves to die. Why? Adentina Obed take his decision. No, say David in person Obed-Edom die or no the wo fatanunji. Why do you think? Please help me with your comments. Mame Perpetual says he thought the man is useless or there is nothing good that can come to him. So if he died, there is nothing wrong with it. Okay, I like that. And MFA says because that someone is a condemned man. Who declared him condemned? Minya George Echo and Miss Abochi says David didn't value the person because he's of no use to him. This is the point. You have made remarkable comments. You see, when I was going through the passage, when I needed a story, an incident, a precedent to relate to Nkoma Yebedi on episode 20, I carefully, MFA says he wasn't thought of much in the society. Great. As I went through the passage, I could only conclude on this point. Number one, Obed-Edom, Onisika, or you're very wretched. That's the only conclusion I could make. And most of them are not in our society. Se Onisika and I won't say wa. Ye wuni se bibi papa bi abetumi afiri mu aba. And so eniema esei nipa no. Wonu a ase wunni bi no ye space ye hwani mu say wona sa niema ne beba so. But I want you to change the narrative this morning, because if you want to get money, don't be looking where you are so sure. If you really want to get money, I have come to learn this. So baby, I told you, you need a boo boo. Baby, I say you're dreaming of no thing. Not all that glitters is gold, you know. And the only conclusion I could make, they said, okay, I think this David considers the man so worthless, so useless. He doesn't have money, he doesn't have family, he doesn't have anybody to, to provide for. So after all, if this guy dies, I mean, it's no news. Already the guy is going to perish. Adiano krano hiana sene dida akwano krampo no nisu nimfaso. Oni baby a osheno, oni yiribi a osheno, oni abusuye bi a depending on him. But ono David owo yenom. Ono David ase ono no owo abusuya oyo hene. Enipa bebre depending on ono David. Basically, he is a man of substance. Because of that, ono de ontumi wu a enye, but Obededom de oni abusuya bia enti moma yemmane na yemfa adaka no enko ne ho ono de owu a ensɛ hwee. But let me draw your attention to something very important. I'm combing through the villages. Mina menkrase pa. Mehunu insu a enkrase fo no nom. Okay, me kyerɛ wade. Insu a ɔmo nom mehunu. Baby a ɔmo da me da hobi. The last 5 days or so, ye ko bush. Ye baye no insu na etoye no. Na edan no ye demu no. Emu nyina afo. Documents, official documents, bank documents, ye very important ha. Bija on me baye na afofo. Asay. Ni nyina ka ho bi. Na se me ba back to Accra. Na me be ye documents no e wo office bill, because as at now we still have issue at the bank. These are the places omodeda. Atakwame dem. Guess what? Yaria ebobo esikafo no. Womo a ye consider so poor and wretched no. Sa yare ni bi mo. Ye compare ensu a impressive ne nom to ensu a womo so mu sika no nom a. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no reason for the rich to be sick. It should be the poor. But guess what? They are not getting sick. Some malnutrition be a air koso. You don't even expect their children to grow, yet they are growing and being healthy. Semekasa may apply this practicality to Akinkansemia. David thought, say, this man Obededom should die. He deserved to die. Say oseye bi wo wa eba o man Israel so a empare wom adentia omo de omo yade hye omo ye nkofo a they have a life, they have vision, they have plans, they have future, and so omo no de they cannot be destroyed by those that apamada kano. But Obededom de he deserves it. I'm sure most of you were treated in your past. Maybe some of you were faced with such challenges in the past. They wanted you dead because, according to them, Fasubia said that a knew so. Somehow, you are not dead. Somehow, you are not destroyed. But by what they anticipated said will kill you, somehow you've been able to gain grounds. You are not there yet, but you will get there. What do we see in the story? Obededom, 3 months, and apamada kano ekodi ni fi. Adrian ne wo David timu nyina ne se abrantie no obewu. Again, when it's in the said the Sunni fast will be a yen to me, ye dear be and free nimu. Be no way to me a cost one a brabonum. Ama with Jumpong. For that reason, he was condemned to death with the ark. But guess what? Bible say apamada kanu ekusi obedi dom fie just 3 months no. Obeye odefo. Obeye obrempong. Obeye obi a wenye bi. Obeye sikani na brabo sesan. Bibia about obedidom changed in 3 months. Now let me ask you a very important question. And this question help me with the answers. Do you believe that people had rejected obedidom because of wretchedness? No, ana uwomuno. Mujidi say, sabre na no ye yenu wa bubru no, enipa po no. Do you believe that could be a possibility? Give me your answer, yes or no. Now, for a follow-up question, Emra. Okay, Mame Kuredu say yes. If yes, what do you think is going to happen now that the man is wealthy, rich? Now the man has change of clothes. Now the man has the means to buy Porsche or probably Land Cruiser V8. What do you think is going to happen? Those who rejected him, what do you think is going to happen again? Will be they can look up to David, they could look up to all others, but never obeyed them. So now that there is a dramatic change within the space of 3 months, what do you think will be the attitude of Enkofuonwa or rejecting no? I know you know the answer. So just tell me your mind. Yes. One more rejecting obedidom no. Yeah, you want Facebook no. Monso mo betumi de mo comments aba. Only be no magia to me say a possible say people would reject him. All right. Even David condemned him to death. David is omu on the so nim faso. Uza kura nanka ne so won faso nyame kunua. E na yemfa apamada kan nko baabi a obi a onisu nim faso na ono krampo no ni wu krampo no ebeye profitable since otiase. So now that the guy is well to do, abrabona sisa, because okay in kind verse 11 no sin na erade adaka no esi God ni obedidom fie abosome miensa na erade shira obedidom eni ni fie nyina. So what do you think is going to happen now? Okay, so George Echo Emisa say the people will be shocked and would like to know how his life turned around, so they will get close to him. Okay, that's a John say a man for surprise, a best surprising nipa say a branch and what to me I break it through within a short time. It's on bebeso me hu nientia amana banisa enye de ya on bebe no. Mami Charity say now they gonna value and respect him. Okay. Omo ba bebu no. Omo obesombo e de ama wom. Afei omo de obu obema no. MFA says, well, he would have earned a new level of respect and value in society. His status would have changed in society. Great. Wisdom say they will feel very much ashamed and uneasy to go close to him. Wisdom. Okay, so when the story was wretched, we saw the attitude of people around him. Ebrana only bino. yehunu subaya enipa edanedi. I'm sure the fearful nyina mpo ebe disrespecting no. Omo fani die mano. I'm sure say ye frɛ busie mi chi kra ye mfrɛ ni bi because oni bi it is obeka nsɛm bi kra ne de ye dwumo a there is no way you know ye befa obetumi provide any resources to buttress or to cushion asɛm a ɔka. I'm sure say even his family members crampo no they will treat him same while he was wretched. Now that the story has changed, the people are also going to change their attitude because now he has societal respect. Now he a free nipa or no be chumia baby. And those who never consider say a baby beba ama omako obedi domho akwa kupemwano. Everybody is going to change his mind. And with time, ebre sina ebre kono. I'm sure their response, the attitude, and their demeanor towards Obededom is completely going to change. The perception they used to have about him is going to change. This is a guy who was written off. Yes, Mame Perpetual says those who rejected him will do all their best to be close to him and to be his friend. Yes, this was a guy who was written off. Yekaya yenkaninkahu. Debi. Now Pobia Kwakopem Wefria Obedidom. So kwachiri kwa nisi obema untoma udi eyet yenidin. Isuni mfaswo adi ndia onibi. Maminka sembi nchirawo. In this episode, Maminka sembi nento utirimu. She Ewia sine da hono hu. Watch. Ebi ameno ka say obibo watch. Watch no sa say na watch na obono. Ni say mumpo no about 6 p.m. about 6 anunsia. It will give us 2 accurate times within 24 hours. Yes. Even a stopped watch. You can watch a time or you the boy insa. Say a say na nyeduma na me fa ni say mumpo no abo no nsia. No nsia ba nopa. No nsia ba nwumre. It is a no nsia na ebono. Even a stopped watch will give you 2 accurate time twice a day. A bema correct time mienu. Now, let me tell you something. There are a lot of people around. Ebikra or ya sorry ba. Ebikra you can wow bet me the dance you say. Or hustle or struggle. Onyanya the societal respect as you may have considered. It is very, very, very mistaken to look down on anybody and consider somebody useless or worthless. Never in your life consider say nipa we enya de obetumi aboa me abrabo mu da oyesa unye yi because every ba that same person no o consider say enya de obeyi no ne je na ba kwaje muwa. Mark my words. Yeah, mark my words. You may think, say now, you have a better job. You have a good paying job. That one, I want a graduate, you know. Or that's what if you're unemployed. So therefore, you write the person off. You are making a mistake. Yes. You are terribly making a mistake, because only God knows why he decided to kill Uzzah. Well, he was killed on principle, but only God knows why he allowed David to divert his course and take the ark into Obedidom's house. Onyanko Pompe. And I cannot miss this point. God was going to demonstrate to each one of us, say, where we consider wretched, who we consider useless, there cannot be any condemned human being. Even the hopeless situation, the very hopeless situation, the fear say, oh, where do need us? Will be any. We are dealing with finances. We are dealing with money. Eti eniema bi was money acquaint to is what SSA. Say you may be, you may be having the upper hand. Ebi awono when you are no, eti wo was soro. And at the award from the one writing off. You have no idea what tomorrow has for that person. Ladies and gentlemen, se wunim say, uti me. Na wa write people off. Wa write people off. I mean to say, what buomo say, odi weni no wadwene buomo say. Those people need ye. Bibi papa bien to me free Nazareth Emma. Mesrao, you may not have mentioned it to the person, but ask God for forgiveness. You don't know tomorrow. Anope me no nkasa bebre entwimu bebre. But me pese me twen wadwen si saadi we so e bia na wonim deda. But I'm re-emphasizing say it has everything to do with your success and your financial growth. The person whom you see to be bewildered by debt, you don't see any possibility say obetumi etua ne ho aka. Ubuni se ne so nim faso bank twetwe no enipa twetwe no yegu nanimu ase oni ochiginafo bia. Because of that you write them off. Oh, that's a way the only she, only the whole she, and for so being to me free the soma. Once upon a time, I was like that. Once upon a time, I was like that. Abia, once upon a time, you were like that. And it may have even happened, say, the people around you know, Oman kama wanti, but in them, Omo conclude say, you cannot be of help. And today, shamefully, they come to you seeking for help. You see, you need to recognize, I've always said, they say, onipa biya no uyidi ewo onyonku nipa. Aye, onipa biya your prosperity uyidi ewo onyonku nipa. Se wo feel say why ye kai se uyidi sika wunya ye ubibia unya free nipa ho. Don't allow pride. Emma hantain emedwe Emma unsasien conclude say people are wretched and useless. So there is no way you look up to them for help or for money. Sometimes you meet people on the street and you never consider say omu usika. But ubekono na they are well to do. And you'll be no ye too known. People who are blessed, they are humble. They may not show it. They may not show it. So when you begin to write people off on the streets, you begin to write people off at the workplace, you begin to write people off at the church premises. I cannot even anticipate getting help from him. You are making a mistake. One year you will never be rich. You will never make money, because just when you will find out say the life assessment, now it will be difficult to approach them. You see, look for money where you don't expect it, because no human being is useless. This is case study number 1. The life of Obededom has changed. Obededom, the life assessor. Na brabo assessor. Ediye ne baye. Ediye ne siye. because God's intervention. Adeɛ no a wɔn susu sɛ ɛbɛsɛe no no ɛno na adane na brabo. Hwɛ so wobɛto me sɛ Sɔfo Bernard me wɔ fam now writing me over. Just wait. You are writing me off. It is not God. You and I know very well, say no situation is permanent. I may be down today. Tomorrow is another day. Enti se suban we bi wo mu a. Honhom no say you drive away your chances of attracting wealth. You drive away the spirit that connects you to wealthy people. Because you have reached somewhere. Okase wakwakudu. Ukudui. Die onyankopon betumi ama wakwakudu no sochi die odi weni yeden ehunu. Okay. I'm telling you categorically, emphatically, I'm telling you truthfully this morning, say wunim say ufiefuo nyina wabusuafuo nyina ti asɛm a meka yi wunim say wabusuafuo nyina se yɛka se yɛde ɔmo bɛɛden ba bɛtoo so na wontumi nsɔvo ɛmma ebi nka you haven't read there. Humble yourself and don't write people off. So when him say we busuafo o maami side o papa side o fase no unuyama abusua wo dem unim say de omo nyina de so abeto so na untumi nhwe wom emma ebi nka besi unru baabia. So don't be proud and don't look down on people and don't write off people and conclude say nothing good can come out from their lives. Do you get what I'm saying? Sika yenyewi. Okay, yempe sika yenyewi. Yedie yempe yenyewi. Se yepe yedie wia anka Kennedy Japan. Anka onye dwuma bia kobeti na fi. Kode ne nsa be send dem efrem no wada morning and evening. Onye any productive work. Yempe sika yenyewi. Yenya sika yenyewi. If I want to do a literal translation, we don't get money finished. If I want to be very literal, we don't get money finished. So, level be a we do know. When you say, if you cannot take care or fend for your entire family, you haven't gotten there yet. I don't know when you're going to get there. And that's why I'm telling you, say, begin to look at people who don't have to make money from them. The principle is right there in your Bible. One more enemy, a herefor noa, wretched people noa, naked people noa, omunibi go and look for money from there. That's where you must go. The unexpected people. The people who do not show, omoye so wretched noa, usizomunye unyawe womono. Ehona for wadwene wakoma yeden, ekose ubenya bibi ewo ho. Do you remember what God said through Prophet Moses in Deuteronomy chapter number 15? Do you remember? Do you remember? Deuteronomy chapter number 15. This is a passerby scripture. If you check verse the number 7, osise wunya no mubi edane ohiani ewo okuru apomua asase awrade onyankopon de ma no so a emprim wakoma emua wonsa entia wo nu ahiani bue wonsam ma no fem no ne yebeso no eni ni hia. In other words, you don't condemn them, you don't write them off. You find a way to help them, alleviate them of their poverty. What David did is so despicable. Adia David ye no. Se woka se wo fa David ni suban ni na brabo ni ni bi no asua no a, you will be making terrible mistakes. And God proved David wrong. Somebody has died. Continue your journey. Fapamada kaneko. And you, David, you decide, say, because you are taking the act to somebody who deserves to die. Who are you to declare, say, you deserve to die? You deserve to be poor. And so in the heat of arguments and controversy and conflicts, family conflicts, you open your mouth and tell somebody, I want you to be very careful, because these people you consider wretched and writing off day by day, these people, if you have no idea, spiritually they connect you to wealth. Woman de be sikinya epon edemount. All right, until Obed-Edom became wealthy within the space of 3 months, David was unwilling to go for the ark. He had thrown the ark away, were disposing of Apamadak. Why? Because it's destructive. No gasemnie momo yewe bibi ya brabo imu. The eya say when ya nipa no na otsina ewo ho. Be careful. Be careful. I know what I'm talking about. There are some of you Nah, in my present life, I choose to be quiet and not explain anything if I'm treated in a certain way or rejected in a certain manner. You know why? That is your mind. I always have to make sure, say, my relationship with God is great. Think what you want to think, do what you want to do. But I know that the story will change within a short time. And this same person you never considered doing this or that with will be the same person you run to. It has always been like that. Na mempese wo sadi ni bi ebeto. Wajinimu, wakumem, untiasiyim, unsusuyim. You think you know. Somebody knows better. You think your minds are opened. Ubi a sharper. You think you're spiritually inclined. Somebody may be wiser and more inclined. Therefore, take it easy in this life. So, unyanko possible will say mano. Then guess what? 11. Uyenim power so. 80 the Mesha will say, we will send ma unuya umobruni. Any uyeni wasas iso. O check verse number 10 or see you yam efamano. Manenya wakumehi. Na sadie wenti. If you don't write the person off, now consider onusu ye nipa. And any help that is required as a say the manwa. Sadie wenti and the radi wunyankopo ebe shirawo. What ye be? So you see, a blessing. Blessing is a spirit that opens doors. Okay, when we say unyankopo isra ubia, isra ma onipa ye defo, isra ni mfesika manipa. When you see somebody who is a potential door for a blessing, please get close. David now realizes, say, after 3 months, MFA says, we are not certain for sure why David took the ark to Obed-Edom's house, though we are sure, we are certain. Now, if you will refer to the reading carefully, we are very certain, we are very sure. It is right there. This is reading and comprehension. 2 Samuel 6. I will take the verse 9. David was afraid of the Lord that day, and he said, how can the ark of the Lord come to me? So David would not move the ark of the Lord with him into the city of David, but David took it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. So we are very sure why he took it there. He has seen the ark to be dangerous for him. He cannot be destroyed by the ark. He doesn't deserve to die. So now that he knows what the ark can do, what did he have to do? So we are certain, sister, we are very certain, we are sure of what David felt. And you know, people might not show it. He may not even have given a reason why they were taking it there. But anybody around him would ask the question I'm asking now. You've just seen somebody die. Why would you go and put it in this man's house? You know, why he chose him? Because David considered the man to be poor. He chose him because when we say Obed-Edom, you be a onibi. Only responsibilities be a, and even if he has responsibilities, he doesn't have the means to exert his responsibilities. Therefore, he concluded and said, okay, you're traveling to Ukrum, you see a poor man's house, you know, say, Atakwami da ye si we die. Eye uhiye ni fi. Eti ye mani ni mfanko honum. Eti ye kopi o nipa na not oni din di Obed-Edom. Eti se ye mani ni mfada kan nkosi obi a ote Atakwami fi dia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, David was certain, or you're very sure. A network cannot blink with YouTube. Okay, let's hope say it will not cut us off. This is something you and I must avoid. And must be we say what is our Sisa Usubai. We di bekechi. How certain are you he didn't volunteer to take the ark? I am very certain. Please take time, read through the narrative. You realize that the ark was sent there. If there was a volunteering, we would know from the reading. There was no voluntary, and as led by the Spirit, this is a simple message that we need to understand. Dear Meka Kusini, Ebusiafo, Enyisirawo, Ebie sika apon eba. The moment you begin to write people off, this is what happens to you. It disconnects you from all those who have the means to support you. So as you say, Ubi Nibi, now consider any pani useless. Then Yankopon will say, wo. Baby a abendeda. And I will say, do wenito. Let's say, Nyamisuni be nyeden enium. For you to consider, say, Ubi Nibinji or ye useless, now are writing it off. Unya yesa, a disconnect you from all the people omoye readily available to help you. They disconnect you. Yes. Now let me ask you, have you wondered why everybody begins to contribute and help when somebody takes upon himself, say, Okobua mobrofo? Ask yourself. Make sure why be so. You nipa bibiro mu usika. Okay. Any nipa bibiro omu nisika. So be an against say or kwako fadi unibi mobruni na wabuanwa. All of a sudden na omu wobi no attach makoma say yanko buano. then you see them providing for nipa na okoboa mobroni no tiu de okoboa mobroni no ebi ameke ono ankasa no onseda nyeyi saa but waye na dwen se oba koboa emobrofo obi a people have written him off. Okay, and it does will be any ho say nipa no a ya writing off no isire bi ebe pie baby a den apa all of a sudden no bi akonomoa. Mame mount a typical example. Okay, Mame mount typical example. Nanu ya yiko village. Okay, and na yenyina ye discuss ohwe episode 17 no. And now you're fasting and prayers on this morning series. Now, the first lesson that came on episode 17 was feed multitudes. Ope so ye ya. Bomodia se ubema inipa bibri eduani. Edi. I'll be reading your questions. Let me make my point. Your submissions. Let me make my point. Eti yako ye nyina ano. Yako crusade nyina ano. Me dia symmetry say. I know said the principle that came in the money series, I also need so much money. I need so much money for so much project because one, the people whom I'm responsible, one more me feed you and me sasu weekly, monthly, and you're very demanding. And I cannot put all my eggs in one basket. I need to spread my tentacles and reach out to a lot more people whom a deep baby say. And we be a free baby ma. Okay. If in a day Ubi realizes nipa na or see a kombi kununo Ubi aba be man eduania. It connects me to people who have money to support. It's just like this. At the end of I need you to get the link. Get the link of what I'm teaching. The moment you write somebody off, it disconnects you from people who can support you. The moment you consider them, say, Bibi Papa be me from Umuaba, and let me not look down on them, but let me get close and connect you to richer people, more and wealthier people. It is Sana Mona Message me to know. Guess what? Baby, and I'm a cotton ewo kedi na media kwa koma womu a peduane yedi no me wo na maame ne ka kire me say so fukuro bia obedru su bia opemo no e dia koma emobrofo no ka kire me na me so me nyimu ni bi emfa nka ne wo to no ne emfa nko. This is a woman whom we buy bags of rice from. Onye na dwen say me obebua me in any way. Eye mon bags na me koto free ni ho. En na me de ma obi a onibi. Somehow something has connected to her. Set me juma na me ye no. Omebua. So let's see. Semeto 10 bags are or the 3 bags account. 3 bags no or no ani pim no the account. Chinkomoni you. Sa 3 bags no 5 kilos esim 5. Iti yebenya 1 sack bia 5. That means yebenya extra 15 people. Iti se nankame mechumia menipa 20 ya. Which me menipa 35. During the time of the distribution, enipa 35 in yemwa, each one of them is going to say, God bless you. Each one of them is going to say, Unyanko Punshirao. Echi eyemenkwa ankamenye nipa 20 aumbeka nyame shirao. But say nipa 20 na maybe decided say I won't write them off. I would rather go and support them. I won't look down on them. I won't bluff on them. I connected the rice seller. I connected the rice seller. It is the rice seller no technically at the nipa 15 wama enipa 50 ye bi omano akase nyame nsirame. Now do the math. Says here I rise la ne pena are connected. How many more people who have the means to support my ministry will be connected if I carry on with this for the next 10 years? How many more people do you think will be connected? It's a prayer. Enye prayer and a day above for ebreme. Not writing them off and considering say they are human beings like me. Enti baby omoda ewe bi ena mekoye meda. Ensi omdi gare enu ebi ena yedi gare. Eti each one of us on the team, we are not better than them. On top of that, if we are able to yoke with them, if we are able to meet them, I think I made that woman. Yes, MFA, you know the woman, the very woman who are mobile, mene okoto 20 bucks, during the Passover, no. That is the same woman I'm talking about. That is the same woman. The day no ye koto monumpo na me sresenka onte so mame se ne be ya metumi atomo o se ne bo ne de sa oteso a onya mfaso bi anya dai emfiri so ne de kakre da so no. But that same woman, I didn't ask her for help. I only go to buy the bags of rice. Na me call me baby. That same woman now sacrifices 3 extra bags for every 10 bags I buy. So when I buy 20 bags, she sacrifices 6 extra bags. I didn't ask her. So the question is, what connected her to my ministry? A lot of people are coming on board. A lot of people. So the connection, the moment you write people off, you see them to be poor, wretched. Now what can you move? What cut him off? Oh, I say with your baby, papa be to me from Mumba. When you do that, what you do, you may not say it, you may not do it physically for anybody to see, but spiritually, not a disconnect you from people who are readily available to make you rich. Because the blessings of God, it creates opportunities. Okay, it will not bring you the money physically, but it will create opportunities to get the money. Listen, I may not be getting money directly or cash from them, but connecting me to a lot more people. So you can imagine if out of this 50 people get connected and 50 people will be at the one bag, they are going to see worldwide the Osofo who goes about distributing food for people, and everybody is going to come on board. Before you realize, Obe coming to Kwamede, Emon, and the people. What happened? You see, when you don't know the spiritual consequence of your actions and your thoughts towards people who are wretched and poor, when you don't know, this is what happens to you. You will never be rich. You want to be wealthy, you want to be rich. Onyankopon has not written the people off. God has not written the people off, but in your mind, you are. Yewe busuafo bebre wo ho a wo no te wo no utimu se wo na wo adwuma ye na unya bosom ya katua no wo bi eti ubu ho esen se nipa no. In fact, some of you musuban ya ni mumu se obi ni bia mumu no yare bia usu se nka emmo se nipa no obi tumi bi na no ka se na nipa sumesi we busua no no enwu wei mo ni wo sika ni mo no wagu. So what can be there for no from? How could you even conceive this mischievous thought? Ebe, dear Asam na Americano. MFA, thank you for the correction, but technically I just wanted to make a point. Said Otumi bi ono ka say asumesi ti ho na we mo ewu abusuanim. Let's say, according to you, you are just replicating what David did. Somebody deserves to die because sir. Okay, let me tell you what happens spiritually. And our person ye. Yamfa unamum fem modembo nye you. I'm telling you, unamum fem modembo yamfa ye. Okasa wo bon wo modem unam fem amasa betwani abene e konso ameko ye videos bi no menene brand ne kasai yamfa unam fem modembo nye yi unnim hwinti so person ye ya principles. What is it? Don't write people off. Eti ebusuya no so unim se waka sa asem ni bi di akire obi asume city ho ena ni owu sika ni mo ewu a asa for wano twitwi fom sisa kosre boni fache sre rade se ohun mobo because what you have just done, you have disconnected yourself from people who are readily available. Inipa omaye ready omo di omo will be dida omo betumi aboa omo betumi ma vision aye accomplished and are fulfilled. Betumi put you on the next level. No, just what dreaming no who dreaming far the only be who considers or ye baller or ye condemned. No, they disconnect you. Yes. Well, if you didn't know, believe it or not, somehow God is going to intervene. Do you know why they are still there? For a testimony. Send a be nipa be hunu di onyankopon etumi ye. It is also when you are well paid, you have a comfortable place to live, and all the at the papa bia for yourself. Na ubi libina ube writing off ube bunenim. You look down and consider the person useless. So when you asemba akope na meka kire kashen ekudu emisum ento kwemuda. But I'm telling you, in this lifetime you will regret if this is how your attitude is. Uyedi ebeke chiri papa. Ebeke chiri papa. I'm begging all of you on this money series journey, episode 20. I want you to put this principle in your mind. Anytime you write a poor person off, consider him useless, wretched, because the person didn't get the opportunity to be in the best of schools that you attended, because the person didn't have a good and sound home to be trained, or you weed smoker, or you drunkard, or you're very stinky and smelling. So now what dream I catch you say we the sunim faso. You know what you've just done? You have disconnected yourself from great men and women whom you could have simply connected yourself with. And only at you see that's what happens when you do this, when you condemn people, when you consider anybody useless. Why do you think we go for evangelism? Jesus says, I have not come for the healthy, I came for the sick. I have not come for the rich, I came for the poor. That should tell you, say, the master now within it, the very people you are writing off, and these same people now was sumay say, Yankoka asempano, enfanchirebo. So let me ask you, why would you support evangelism? What do you think happens when we go to preach? We are not just winning souls for the kingdom of God. We are actually liberating people who have been considered useless and wretched. We are setting them free through the law of liberty. We are setting them free. We want them to be useful. That mind of supporting evangelism, nature say, you cannot actually condemn or consider somebody useless or worthless. However, when it comes to your daily life, your practical life, this is exactly what you do to people. Sometimes in your family, sometimes on the streets. I told them, a nini a dream be out who bought down for a wabonchia, a dream about him. Baby sao. Yea. So who bought down for a dream bang and about him. So ubia or ye coinseni drunk, excessive drunkard. Na wa bronwa ye basano da form then once na airborne one a dreaming about him. The Bible says e shira enka wadwempa. Wadwempa e shira enka no. Adwen na wo dwen dia ma onua no. Ehisiranka sa adwempa no. Na ehisiranka adwempa no ni opposite. Ebeye enomenka wadwembone. Sana samwa ngoma ne kan yo. Just having a good thought. Ehisiranka no. Having a bad thought enomenka. I know say the network, a breaky, but listen to me. I need you to understand, say, nobody is useless. Yes, nobody is useless. Ye bet me enya condemn goods. Mo amoye Ghana for no. Oh, this network. Moye Ghana for no. When we say a to the bina wufia na obi who say MPP phone bi daddy go phone bi omoni na mantem ena omo pai condemn. Yes, condemn. Eti omo ba oda de senya asai no mafa. Oroba apai no mafa. Ladies and gentlemen, sa condemn no aya omokofifano. Do you know what happens to the condemn? They go back, recycle, work on it, then you end up having fresh items. Do you know where those items eventually land? It lands at the factory. Yes, at the factory. That the gonu almost sanua ufri just say what watching or daddy are what watching and all of these things in what watching one more bar do you know where those things end up? They end up at the factory. Yes, at the factory. And once they end up at the factory, they're going to be worked on. It's in Nema who consider say a condemned a dadigunu. And we are no ye sign the nina co factory, one mujina no makoye and wejuma. A beba no ne condemned, ne useful. Spiritually, anytime you consider somebody useless, that is when God begins to work his miracles in the life of that person. So next time you come around, you will not see a useless person. You will see a useful person. And you will be ashamed. For Bible, no na making kai asem we are making. Making kai ewo. 1 Corinthians chapter number 1, verse the number 26 to number 29. Let me go and read. Yes, just in case near mekan no one tia. Dear me person mekani. Me say sisubiu. Ghana hana ye wono. Ye wo emrantie bi. You know, ebinum empepe for some of these people. Who fear no waba. Na opai condemn. Train no asay tree. Train no a yes silver tree na yisi ma wom ni ade no. Asay na umfa nye hwe ya no wato atwene a wubu ni say condemn apai ni all of that no waje. That is saying na apai no waje. Eniema na asay ni nyina no waje ni nyina. Ede na oye. Oje sa niema ni nyina eto da bia otumi ma obibi di sa nan. Eto da bi kura utumi giska kakra bi edi from ho. Omu we no agiska kakra bi di from ho. Then whatness sa niema na asay ni nyina no ekowie factory. And they work on them. Next time you will not even know say utrainer na say no and no nom de aya de foforo. You will not know say o that is saying na say no and only the aya that is saying foforo. It becomes brand new and it becomes useful. This is what happens when you write people off. You give God assignment to do. And the people in your mind, in your thoughts, in your actions, you write them off. No, those people, ladies and gentlemen, God begins to work on them. Nyankopon di omoko factory, no akwako yom wejuma. And when next you see them, you will not even notice, just like Obed-Edom. So let me take you to the Bible. 1 Corinthians 1:26. 1 Corinthians 1:26. For you see your calling, brethren, that not many wise according to the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God has chosen the foolish things of the world to put to shame the wise, and God has chosen the weak things of the world to put to shame the things which are mighty. And the base things of the world and the things which are despised, God has chosen. And the things which are not, to bring to nothing the things that are, that no flesh should glory in his presence. Mamenken kan chino. Koronto fongu me dikan itie ye baako. Ne nchichemu a eye aduonu ensia no. Ose nenuanom monhwe mofre no se enye hunam fam enyansafo bebree, enye etumfuo bebree, enye adehye bebree ena wafre won. Aganyankopon betumi akɔhwe osikani belebele, obi a oye professor, the best elect in the system, na ode adoma chedi a ode adom miyama no abusuanim. But me ana mechi nkoto every be a trim, I didn't have the best of education. Every be a trim, I didn't have the best of clothing. When people wrote me off and never thought say every be beba ama menye bibi aye ana baby ejina me and obefa me. Yes, most of you men watching me, you're more handsome, you're richer, you're more educated than myself. Yeah, I'm right. Most of you have more experiences in life than myself. But guess what? I am in Obefremi. Adintia. Because people wrote me off. They thought, say, this guy, what at all can we, get from him? He's of no benefit to us. But God wanted to prove a point, say, everybody is important to him. No matter how life has treated the person, everybody is important. It will say, so free be a enye hunam fam nyansafo enye etumfo enye adesie na emu ewiase nkwasiade eno nyankopon eyi ede abehye enyansafo aniwu na wiase ade a emmere eno nyankopon eyi ede ahye ne eden aniwu na wiase nioma emfra the base things emfra the base things saniema no de womuo eno nyankopon ahwem eyi na de eni ho se odi betu de ewo ho no na honam biara anhoahoa ne ho nanim. You see, this is what happened to Obededom. Omfra. Just like you have treated some people in this life. Mumu bebre, I keep on saying, say, your financial growth and success, you never took time to go through the process or understand and this is a very important principle you must know. So anytime you write people off, you look down on people, you consider them useless, you check them off the table, you are disconnected from prosperity, success, wealth. Yeah. And some of you, this is your problem. A juma waya wunya promotion no. Obekom no. Na yese suban we. Na wo mu obi no. Obi so wo soro sen, obede na obi ebu. Baby a wo kura wo yi, unya no, obi wo soro sen. Edi as you write, wo mo wo wase ne off no. One more top now come to me about. They also write you off. It's as simple as ABC. It will be a or what gain say oye obey and obey sika and obedin no abrabomuno. Say ni pano omuni penim tia. On she ubi ni hu fia ye ho emfa njaje no. Emfa nkakasa bi. Oni ni paninya uni obinya utumi di ni hia ne mobro eye no. Look at you. You want to be uplifted. Open saying ya misrao. Now be your default now also enipe hubi. You're a joker. Toming chain nyansan we are no pay. Misramo. Pathway as a fuma. Menemo kasei enipa bibri ababi rasorim. Crusade yakoyi new conversion. In Crassion, Bibriaba. Omasem e mobo papa. Bibri asem e mobo papa. Yes. Ebinum wa atade baako. Me se me nitu ya minim ni America. Asafo mane so wo no enitu ya omunnim asem America. Ebi wo a efi so bai bosomi mienu ni echi no atade baako no wa. Me say, let me put it blank. Bebre wo hwa obi kura ba me nchen be ka kire me say saint e wo mo ho dodo. Saint or yes or bas on feel comfortable e wo dem ho. It is en ke betumi make arrangement no manya baby atina no mo mfrafra yemu. Somebody came to me and said this. I nodded my head. I cried in my head. And I said, God have mercy on you. Nehobon was sent. Eti se wetumi anya kukudura ba manim abeka sa asem na kire me expecting me say I will isolate them or probably mema wo mu abam no ape baby atana ono se ne be ya sent no home they will not be discomforted. You can imagine the thoughts are akoso was any pano, ni tirim. Obese oyi. Maybe me news a sent to mo na me mo mobile. Me news a sent e wo mo. Ena ye ko plaster e dan mu e bobo fan say fan insecurity o say media minimum. Media me no mo kasa no me hu se sent to mo. I am finding a way to make their life better, and you are writing them off. You want us to get a place for them to say, send your baby who sent into me, ma. What did you do? Obisu was so and his free in him saying, he will also write you off. You see what God is saying over here. The principle is so clear. Say, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be rich, your richness, they are deposited in other people. So, when you see somebody at a low land, low level, low class, wretched, be careful what you think. Be careful your conclusions. Because you never know. You never know. Yes, Echo. Wow, unbelievable thought. Yes. Unbelievable, but true. What you mean by sofu penny wa ba be catcher and say, ye ba sorry a woman, ye no mu be shiano, saint woman. It is a nkibichi mi ashishin kunyano na to 0.8 dano so she bray your betina me hunua. Eradi hu mobo. Na me the way ye case because one no almost say somebody series I say I feel no mabe mufufro. Right? But then one says somebody on the team, somebody who is a member, just a single encounter and who was sent it, you have a problem with it. You don't want to meet people who was sent. That's okay. That's okay. But I'm telling you, say, those people now, you may not consider worthy to be a part of God's assembly because for some reason, who was sent near the Adeno. Bible no, shimbiu. I'm not gonna repeat the reading, but shimbiu. Or see if we are simu die emfra. Any die womu. Enu nyankopon ashim eyi. Check the verse 28. Enu nyamia shim eyi. That is why these people, they are the heaven gates for blessings. When you see a wretched person, they are the heaven gates for blessings. When you have compassion, when you have affection towards them, God connects you to people who have the means to support you. And once they help the person, you get rich in the process. When we will be a okotiwa on freebie. What will be that? And yet, once you have good thoughts for these people, once you do not write them off, once you consider them useful and not useless as you think, then you connect you. So that even if you don't have the means, you receive blessings, favors, donations to be able to carry out and execute your good thoughts. Menini peshia o na menini peshia pa. Enye nsem nyina na metumi aka. Nanso me pese me kire say where you don't expect money to come from, that is exactly where your money is. So change your mentality and focus there. Echo de bi kura na mumu bi kwa kope sika de afru bi ho emwa echo de bi a utumi scan nipa oni omu nyina mu so we de so ni bi we de so ni bi we kura de so ni bi obi asenka sei obi asenka sei. You people are jokers. So what is ene sisa osuban if you say Yedi no ne ntem kwan ebewa. So nkwa wa ho odi betumi a anka yiyi. I'm telling you. Nkwa wa ho odi ntumi. Eti mesrɛw. When you think you are good, you're okay. Level now we do know. Oh, you're fine. Eti asiofo nyina no, they deserve to die. Yare no woman de bo no mu yankeye. Amane no ono ne to no obusua mu ankeye. Enye di owu sika no. This world is not fair. The world is not fair. Adintia, the rich man in the family more is dead, and the poor people are there. Oh, MFA says, hold on. Body odor is not necessarily due to poverty. If people have poor hygiene standard, they normally develop an odor unless there are other factors. MFA, I can tell you, you are very wrong. Poverty may not necessarily mean that you must have body odor. But please, do the math very well. No matter how, hygienic a person may keep, ubi or no you're sweaty, or team free pa, or team free pa. What do you expect? There is a young man, many mercy echo, baby at home. There are some two guys there. Almost the same mono. All right. You're toa omuludi mono egu kani mami. I had a problem with them. I saw say there was so much odor, body odor. So I needed to find out. I maybe some. Now they are no pa moba asa group. They are no pa moba munyare kakra. So then I realized say in the course of the day, as they work, they switch. Atadiene so mosheno a rubber nylon numbi. So you can imagine. It's if you no singlet, nothing. So all I did was to solve the problem. I went to their madam, gave her some cash, and I asked her to get some cotton clothing and other stuff for them, and then some deodorants and other things. Listen, MFA, you may not know, but it is the fact. Already where we are sleeping, already where we are sleeping, muddy. The toilet we have, heating. There are so many prevailing things within the community that suggest that poverty is at its peak. So if you don't get the person to smell good, you cannot blame him. You cannot blame him. When you have somebody going to take used cloth and to magua as saying na ubuninsa or diato sebe the panchi buninsa, you don't expect the person to smell good. It's the odor that is coming. One share, you may write them off, but they are useful. And the thoughts you have concerning these people, and on the menyankopon ABAB closed doors, or mawa kwinyano na wechimia kwa mwa. If you want to be wealthy, if you want to be rich, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you this, and then look for money where you don't expect. If you think that it is the rich man that can bless your life, you are joking. The rich man can give you money, but the wretched one can give you blessing. Rich man will not bless you. Rich man will give you money. You go to Kennedy Japan, you say bless me. No, don't say bless me. Say give me money, because that's what he's got. If you see any rich man in the society, don't ask for blessing. They can only give you money. They can only give you houses. They can only give you wealth. Blessing is with the wretched, the base, the foolish. That's where blessing is. Samebua mon can tell me. You see, I have carefully studied, prayed, and asked the Lord to open my insight on this matter. And it amazed me the discoveries that I found. Maybe you haven't been there before, so you won't understand what I'm saying. But I'm teaching you a principle you must hold dear to your heart. I want to ask you a very important question and be honest with yourselves. Even if you are going to watch this video later, be honest with yourself. Mumududuwahi, ena in the process of this life journey, ma write people off. You went and saw their condition, and right there and then you said, this is hopeless. This is hopeless. Yes, Mumududu was saying, Enna, Mother says, be honest with yourself. Me. Nya kwenya no anye sadi ni bi because na me yemobrunisa, I was also wretched like that. Ebia enunti ena manya kwenya no and write people off and conclude in my mind say we ni su ni mfaso. Okay. But Abia, some of you know from the beginning you got it good. As an enemaye. And I say bikura mumubi from the beginning enemaye. But mubi drew munya bibi kakrana munya baby see no. Ayamo say mo drew we anesa. It's mure fi munchi baby mo friba. Okay. Baby now friba no ebia refi. Because of that, at a point you consider somebody wretched or you rule somebody off. Why is hard any bidder? Just give me a thumbs up. We are going to pray, and I'll be giving you a direction later when we meet this a friend is saying this evening to do on this lesson. Why be that answer? You saw somebody's situation, you wrote the person off. You saw the person to be wretched or you're useless and phobia and feeling so mad, all of that, blah, 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 blah. Directly or indirectly. So when you're sad in that, you just check yourself. Assess your mind, jog your memory. Why you be that? Just give me thumbs up. When him say you was so phobia, when such people get closer to them, they back off. You come kwantanaino. Ubi yes adini bi. Maino oshiwi no munsa unyare ne wopon. Eno ye very wretched. Me preach we no or bechiame. Ubi eso natadi ne twene se enchia no baby jina. The person is on the team. Me hwe ni din. Ofri ona me koso ni mu na me amechia no. Ena me ni din komo. Eti obaye no na me ne man no edi nkomo. Me musa ne hwe nipa no nim ne ho. Or coming home on the team and the evangelism. Me musanere. Me I knew say any day money series in yebet was. How could he have behaved like that? Nipane peso me no oba me nchen. I am not troubled. I'm not worried. I'm not concerned about the look. Wona wujina me nchen. You are preventing the person because who said no, this person you don't deserve to get closer to Pastor Bernard. Who am I cannot glory myself. What's in the verse 20, 29? I cannot glory myself before God because I was once upon a time wretched like him. I have seen a brother come to me, and so I won't mention your name because I just want you to learn this lesson very well now that I'm talking about it. Ubeka say, hey, na then a papa unim sadia me enye. Na one can say, only nim dia Jimiesa. Yeah. Jimiesa. And now wisdom, the Abano Peter and the apostles also did same to the woman with menstrual problem. And if you are like this, now only soft one on evangelism, then why are you on the team in the first place? We're going to rescue the perishing. We're going to save the wretched. We're going to bring all of these people. These are the very people we are preaching to. It is our person or Radina Mesudi Asemba. What's your point? Because Nehobon, or you're too dirty. Meanwhile, the person was there listening to the message and wants to talk to me, wants to shake my hand. Look at you. Now, me na obeto me no me write it nipa off. Because of that, little by little, gradually, the Lord is opening doors. Have you any idea blessings that have come my way? They are not cash. But have you any idea blessings that have come my way in this short time? That if I look into the future, how it is going to bring more than enough money, you have no idea. If there is anything you must aspire for, create opportunities for money. Don't get the money. Create opportunities for it. Okay? Create opportunities for it. Yes, I can see. Wisdom says, Pastor, please, what's the meaning of RTPH? Rescue the person R. That's the full meaning of the acronym. Do Grace, a very powerful message. Thank you, Papa. You're welcome. Echo says, I have, maybe, not directly. It is good to be honest. Vera Mankwa says, Father, I can't remember, but I might have done some at a point in my life. So I'm guilty. Edu Grace says, once upon a time, I was there before and I know what you're talking about. Sela Morris says, no, we have no idea, but I guess it will be plenty blessings. Yes. You see, so why you sad you be that? Maybe you are not sure say why you be that. But you know, sometimes our minds play some silly games and dirty games with us. And those silly or dirty games, as we may consider them to be, they are very crucial and sometimes detrimental to our lives. Sa adwini bi asa agro bi asa agro bi so no na adwin bi koso yemu efa sankofo no ho no enuanom asa agro enso na esi enhyira bebre ho kwan. The state of the mind is always metaphysical. Note that. Adwene no the relationship with your soul no is so metaphysical and spiritual. And that's why the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so he is. Whatever comes into your mind, you create it. It becomes an energy around you. It mesremu enidiemu. Mesremu. Abrempo eniado. Asema me pese anope imoti ase ne sei. Onyankopon na owo obo ni wiase no. Some obrofo ni emfra nkwasiafo de enye papa no eno no fa no asiesie. So don't write them off. So obi to me be pai daddy go daddy asay fabra chance asay fabra. Now the next minute ubenya a polished 5-5 bow edidi mo a. Sa niema na ye friend condemn wo afifie mumpo if they end up at the factory and come back to be useful utensils at home, how dare you condemn and conclude that a human being is useless? And that is what the Bible says. That shall not tell your brother, Raka, useless, because you stand in judgment. The weed smoker is not useless. Okay? Abrabona or bono and a young worthless. Abrabona or bono says subano and then fasubi ni so. But the person, the person as in a persona is not useless. I know a lot of people they considered useless, and today they're very useful. Judge between you and your colleagues. Some of you, you graduated the same year with your colleagues. You're doing well. Life is good. You don't even want to associate yourself with them because according to you, they are not your class anymore. I pity these young ladies who are able to say, look at you. You can't memma omo bese me pa wo ye bema. Ababawa, it's a matter of time. You will regret it. Yeah, I know somebody may refer. Na say pastor, one now can say so be bese ope no nisika enyintum manfansi ho. Me ka kire nse bra kopisika nebra. That was not to tell you say consider the person useless. But the way a man be ebu, the way a man be, you know, aseni omoye nipa sene obi. Adindia, baby o free bano ne papa uska ne mami uska. Me mama no munti asema me ka kire mu. Eni mi nua ma no munti sa asemu. Se wadwen no e kire o se be ma no a oba no ni bi. It is soon name for so. You should know where I am speaking from. Connect it to additional ye. Me mama munchie me. Ekuya wawari. Nanama enware. Gifty enware. Odi emekase me bubudi na ebrebeko, but all those I have for daughters, whether spiritual daughters or biological daughters, Genesis ni shalom no blessing mudi, you know, you cannot even try that kind of behavior. Semunim na obe me biba oba besremo aware wadi kan ba besremo pe no ahwe na finiti su a dia besini na se na wa conclude say na wo ye kan memma sesa mo ba ma besoa. Do you consider yourself one of them? Subai, it will disconnect you from all the people who can do you good. I'm telling you. Me say one way obe bon san one day at the amami. To move. If this is your attitude, to move. Momobi wo hwa moni ibinum nkonforma na tie just because nipa no ye servant oye osomfo obia oye maid nti na wusika nti you treat the person anyhow. Be careful. Be careful. Now, let me give you a mystery. Let me give you a mystery. You remember what happened between Hagar, Ishmael, and then Abraham and Sarai? You remember? Unim diendi onyankopon esenkom asem we Real FM base 2 weeks ago I was telling them on the show. Unim diendi onyankopon eka say Ishmael obeye wild na ninsa ebetie ni nuanum nyina. Do you know why there is so much extremism, terrorism, and all of that in our Muslim brothers, it was Abraham's and Sarah's terrible mistake. Yes. I'm telling you. In a way, somebody may say that God contributed to the problem. No, God did not contribute. Because it was not the Lord in the first place that suggested, say, Yamfa Hagar, Emma Abraham, Nonina, Empeba. It was not God's idea. That was Sarah's idea. Okay? Whatever happened, Ishmael was not to blame. Hagar was not to blame. The only blame we can apportion to Hagar was Nisubai and Obrasiano or Yesa or Yano Madame B. She forgot her place. When I say she forgot her place, I meant to say she was trying to, overtake or take over the marriage, which was not supposed to be. All right. But see the way they treated Ishmael. Nyankopon kasem no to ahead of, because of our action. Adia Sarah nini kunu Abraham ye no enemanya. It was the actions of man that made God tell ahead of time what was going to happen. Ishmael felt cheated. They have always felt cheated. They felt that their birthright was given to Isaac. And jihad, extremism, Muslim extremism, has this as a motivation. It has this motivation. They hate the Christians so much. This was a problem Abraham and the wife started. They gave a little portion of the property and they drove them away. And God compensated them. He placed them where there was so much oil. So in God's own way, he compensated them. So most of the Arabian countries, they are very rich and wealthy. And so in God's knowledge, there wasn't any reason. But this was a human relationship. Man creates a problem, and God foretells the consequences of the problem they have created. And this is what we see. And it goes on in the home. When you beat you are denying the person because you feel the person doesn't measure up. And go the same school. And free chance in Bakum. The person does not meet your class. You're sitting on a time bomb. You are. Ebema mu yidi akachiri. Ebema mu ishira. Boycott. So try to connect and apply additional way every facet of life. Try to connect. Let me read your messages alongside. Wisdom say, most at times I don't like the order, but I don't write them off. But may have few times reacted in some ways. I'm guilty. Oh yes. Wisdom. I could see sometimes how you would quickly shift yourself or relocate yourself when they came around. Don't worry. I'm a man of wisdom, and so I try to address situations when I have the opportunity to teach. You are guilty indeed. Genesis has started, oh Papa. Please, Genesis has not started anything. We are only training here that when you see strangers, people you are not known, they can kidnap you. So give some time. Try to know the people before you embrace them. That's the only training Genesis is having. And then Mefa says, Pastor is advertising his daughter. So oh, yes, I am advertising, but I'm as well advising them. Sister Genesis, hope she's doing well, Papa. Yeah, she's fine. Silla Morris says, you don't have to say that. Just decline the proposal respectfully and give a very good reason. Exactly. He didn't, but he said it, and what God says must come true. He was cheated and treated unfairly. Exactly. In fact, this is one of the serious motivation factor for the hostility between the Muslims and the Christians. They feel they were cheated. The story is still there. The history is still there. And if you look at global, trends, Mamemfa Ghana, example, we have about 70% Christians. I ask myself, look at the situation in the Zongo communities. This thing is still happening. This deprivation, denial, cheating is still happening. So when they want to cause violence, they go and call the Zongo boys. I am not justifying our attitude, their violence. I'm not condoning. No. That's not the point. In fact, I'm not no way. But when you write people off, when you look down on them, when you cheat them, sometimes this is what happens. Christians, we must blame ourselves for many of the financial hardships that we're going through. In fact, sometimes we are not good people. That is the truth. I'm telling you, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. It is the extremism, the way they are so violent. They are targeting the Christian community. They want to kill every Christian. Jihadists. This is the inspiration. Abraham and the wife never treated Hagar, the servant, and Ishmael fairly. They never did. God in his own way compensated them with rich land deposited with oil, crude. The enmity, the bitterness. God did his part. I'm telling you. You see what is happening around the world? The ISIS, the Taliban, the Boko Haram, all the Muslim. No. I'm telling you, say. Until now, we are still doing it. Yabako Fulani fu, Christo ni bako fa Fulani fu. Fulani ubia obabe hweni ni nenchi nemwa. As I was driving back to Accra yesterday night, in the dark hours, a young guy with a head of cattle is you to see or the mwana kwadidi or duomu kofi. Then I asked myself, atade pabe no she and papa ben ye diamanona odaso treatment ben ye de beman wofi obiwie di mwana kugum amwa ba beton enye sika bebri ayodefo na that nipa no ewo ho na wo bre. No good clothes, no good food, no good treatment. We don't even consider them to be of the same value. Yea. You have a whole chief of a town, me mokronidi. No, the radio suka say, if you meet any Fulani person, kill him, kill them. How? Let me tell you. Let me tell you. The body of Christ, you see who he did ni sira. Me say sikani obetumi ama osika. Enya de sikani betumi ama wo sira. It is these Fulani people. Take good care of them. Okay? Just as you are educating your son out of the income you make from the sale of the cattle, make the life of that young boy, that headman, make his life better. That's real blessing. That's why you never short supply. Maybe I'm telling you, yeah, like Echo is saying, the activities must be regulated by building more grazing sites and cattle ranches. But we have a Christian president. We have had Christian presidents. It is almost dream in Nipana just say, oh, we num die. I say they don't measure up. Na almost dream woman dream pa. Said they are hell bent building the National Cathedral. Right? When the Muslims were building their national masjid or the mosque in Ghana, it was the Turkish government that helped them to build it. Isn't it? The Turkish government. Because all the churches, Smyrna, Ephesus, Philadelphia, Laodicea, Pergamo, Thyatira, all those churches, they've been turned into mosque. Nina Ababe Islamic State. Turkey, Christianity is almost extincted. Abaye Islamic State. So the Turkish government supported the Muslim community in Ghana to build till their nice edifice. Come to this Christian. How can you allow a Christian cathedral, a project? How can you cheat the people, Muslims included? The Muslims never took money from state coffers to build their mosque. They sought help from their counterparts and they helped them build it. They didn't take state funds. A Christian is taking state funds, government money for all of us, including Muslims. Not the Akusi Cathedral. And you don't want them to be violent. Do you respect them? Do you value them? No. So you see, that is the Christianity for you. But who am I nam ekwan we sunawi asafuba? With all these corruption, so let me read the messages that have come. With all these corruptions, ekoso misro edidium. Sesana usubaintia. Repent. Yes. Repent. Because those people, they don't have money. But that's where your wealth or your prosperity lies. Those you consider useless. I have mentioned some time back that one of my visions, one of them, is to make sure that when all is said and done, I will pick every madman, madwoman from the streets, house them. I know the Lord will open doors because of the thoughts I have towards them. I know doors will open, blessings will come, greater riches will come my way, and then I will accomplish that. If it is the last thing I will do, I will before I leave planet Earth. How can we have mental hospitals? Then we don't have any system where we will pick these people, keep them. These need our protection. These need our help. These need our love. But I'm sure anytime you walk past a madman, already in your mind, the person is condemned. Most of you, these are the mindsets that you carry around. How I feel helpless, how I feel worried when I drive past a mad person. And on top of this, do you even have any idea? You see, this comes to buttress the point I'm making. When some people want to make money rituals, some of them are told to go and sleep with a mad woman. Yes, I know because I'm a spiritual person. One of the ways of making money in a crooked way, those who are ritualistic, is to involve yourself with a mad person. I'm telling you, involve yourself with a mad person. Those that we consider condemned, the mad people, so that they will make money. Even a komfo, abosomfo, they know, say, those people, they are not entirely condemned. They are not entirely useless. Hi, chai. When are my fellow Christian brothers going to understand the things of the Spirit? And understand, say, nobody is useless. So you see, it may not make sense. It may not make sense when I tell you that consider the madman, because out of the life of the madman or the mad woman, you are going to be rich. To the ordinary person, it will not make sense. It will not. But I'm telling you, you see what the Bible said? God has chosen the foolish things of the world to put to shame the wise. It might not make sense in this world, but enter the realms of the Spirit and understand the language. And komona minudino, they want to say, with God, all things are possible. I don't know the kind of mindset you carry around when you see mad people on the streets. Mostly the question I ask myself is that these people, when they started life, did they ever think or imagine ending up this way? And then I try to find answers within me. And when I do, I know how to relate with them. I know the thoughts I must wield towards them, because I never want to be in their situation. So I have to do everything to make sure that if I don't have the means to support them right now, I will not condemn them, but rather ask God, connect me, help me, so I can help them. Listen, if the madman was that useless, family members wouldn't have appeared the day you knocked him down with a car. Wabadam, uniebusia, ubiampeno, maka monewe, uhieni uwebusienu babe fabodem ni babe pisika, because o de car bono. Nobody is useless. That's where money is. He was useless and of no use to the family, but in death, they want to get some cash, meaning that madman still can create financial dollars for the family. To the American, I say, you understand what I'm saying? The American, Epacho, Tia papa. To the American, I say, mommy, because when she ya, and I'll say, the soon faso. Oh, obewa ongu, yabreno, ononkwani ebo hiamano. Ungu, memisi ungu. The person will live and declare the wonders of God. I know that there is going to be so much testimony coming from the camp of people who were once upon a time crazy or mad. I know God will help me, God will help me to reach out to those people because I'm carefully organizing myself. Also, what is going to be your contribution towards these people? Now, if you really want to be rich, if you really, really, really want to be rich, open so yes, you can hear home. And open komayedi. Opa sanko back. Ti assembly biu. And puwisa, chew the card. Pu assembly. Sanwisa. Give it a second serious thought. Give it a second serious thought. You can work the rest of your life and may never be wealthy. Because they don't come to you just like that. You must work on the lines of the principles. Much of Kennedy Japan's wealth a taxpayers' money. Yes, no matter how much he would brag, he's been a serving MP in his constituency all this while. It cushioned him. Much money was doubled for him, so he had a base on which he could do businesses and open jobs. He only has been smart to create jobs, all right, and sustain Sikana Yegunye free Ghana Painhono. All right. But you are not a politician because you cannot go that way, getting money that you have not really worked for, just sitting down to serve your nation and you take allowance. And when you eventually become rich, we celebrate you. No, I don't celebrate that kind of wealth. Says again, I don't celebrate them. I would rather celebrate you in the Lord, observing and keeping the principles of money, wealth creation. I'd rather celebrate you. I will celebrate you when you begin to think that everybody deserves grace. When you begin to think that way, that everybody deserves grace, everybody deserves to be given attention. When was the last time you bought bread and gave to a madman that you can have this and eat? Sometimes some of you conclude that I'm so scared of him, I'm scared he will harm me and all of that. So you want to be secured that person doesn't have security. The rains beat him, the sun scorches him. And you know how wonderful God is. They barely get sick. See the places they eat from. Think about it.
Amen. 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 Akwansi ya wo adosu bebre intimidia beninyi bie mo me kofie ah omamba bedia usu awera ho ni wono kena yenko omamba bedia usu awera ho ni wono kena Sasisua, Tioba, when it just Sasisu, Afutio, Biaude, Ufanya, me. Yeah, Jane, one Panaima, Minya, when it just Sasisu, Afutio, Biaude, Ufanya, me. Oh, I see Kana, no said a party, and no, Ayo, Suna, Nasa, Madonna never says if Jamie Demo Pierre you a sister, and Mamma just says is a major fear over Benny. Kurobia, what just tell me, Bonne, a Kurono, was to be any soup, that would be any hope, Madonna, be any hunty, the party. Me cookie, Ramaya for heaven, sister. I will have one.
All right, Ebusian, sorry, network, assign a break here. Just pardon me, like, share, and let's wrap up with this morning's message. So, like I was saying, even the madmen, you still can be rich out of them because they are the gateways of blessings. So, mede asem no eba na wiye no bebe say nyina yebun kompon ekohwe echi sometime back yemu bebre na yenyo bia yes sometime back yemu bebre ye kan nipa I don't think say nka momo bi wo mpo a ye be kan mo aka ho just as na me ye kan me kan ho a enye yi no. But little by little, the grace of God has been sufficient for you. And wababi you be. But can you say ahimfuchi ibi didi bi echi? It is send your wababi you be no. Ubi you be a sin. It is a ubi a you be sinwa. Write those that are beneath you off. They will also write you off. Now, spiritually, the Onyankopon yene say, the moment you begin to look down on people and consider them wretched and so useless, not with disconnected from anybody that could have helped you to reach your destination. In this lesson, episode 20, I'm telling you to look for money where you don't expect, because no human is useless. Can I do one more reading from Matthew chapter number 17, verse the number 24 to number 27? I think there's a little clause there I would like to make reference to. It might not necessarily be the content we have discussed, but it brings to life the principle we are discussing this morning. So turn with me your Bibles to Matthew chapter number 17, verse the number 24 to the number 27. I'd like to do the English reading first. Matthew 17, 24 to 27. When they had come to Capernaum, those who received the temple tax came to Peter and said, "Does your teacher not pay the temple tax?" He said, "Yes." And when he had come into the house, Jesus anticipated him, saying, "What do you think, Simon? From whom do the kings of the earth take customs or taxes? From their sons or from strangers?" Peter said to him, "From strangers." Then Jesus said to him, "The sons are free then." Now verse 27. It reads, "Nevertheless, lest we offend them, go to the sea, cast in a hook, and take the fish that comes up first. And when you have opened its mouth, you will find a piece of money. Take that and give it to them for me and you." Here can kind of make verse 27 epe. Nanso sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ na wɔnto wɔn sintidua nti, Peter kɔ mpona no ne kɔto dawa. Na apata a ɔbɛba kane no, ubue n'anum a ubehunu dwetɛbena ɛwɔ mu. Ɛno na fa kɔma me ɛne wo. Ladies and gentlemen, look for money where you don't expect it. During the time of Christ, they had to pay a temple tax, and they didn't get cash on them. So Christ demonstrated to the disciples that if you want to get money in this life, you must not always be looking at the places you think you'll get. You have to set your minds on things that you feel are useless and cannot help you in the situation. Because sadly, they needed cash, they didn't need fish. I'm sure Peter would like, what did you say? Temple tax. Go and do what? Fishing. But guess what? Jesus taught the principles so well that the places you think you can get money from, you're mistaken. There are some unexpected places. Who could have thought, say, apata, and name wisdom? Who could have thought, say, and namono? Sikabe wonenum. Why not they say nenum? Some of these things, when they are written for our study. If you read, you will not understand. But if you study and you decode the prophecy or the revelation in the message, you will know what was happening there. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's network in breaky, but let me wrap up with this scripture. Okay. You see, what we just read here, it doesn't make sense. Say fish. Ye pesika kwa kutia tax ni enibia ye nkonsuomu nkoyi apata na ye mie the first that comes up na nanum ni ebenye sika e de akwa ko pay our tax. Masa, it doesn't make sense. But Peter, well, I'm sure so the amemene the koi. Yeah, he went and casted the hook. And the first fish that came out, he opened the mouth of the fish, and there was money. Do you know what that means? That person you do not consider important, that person you do not consider, say obitumi abua unyeska bi emfiri ho, it you are writing off. What does it mean to open the fish? Before you can have the fish, you must go and hook. Throw the hook. You must have time. Go there, bring the fish out. Be in a noom and sana when you scan. What does that tell you? Earlier, Jesus said, you are not going to become a fisherman, you are going to fish human beings. So put the pieces together. Okay, let me leave the connection. Do the math. Do the connection. What do you think that means? Go and cast the hook. The first fish that comes up, open the mouth. You will find money there. Connect it to the lesson we are having today. Look for money where you don't expect. No human is useless. Connect it and give me your interpretation of this particular verse. I find your background. Put the pieces together. Yes, you see Peter. We need money to go and pay tax. We don't need a fish. Why go fishing? Why go there? It's in as a mama gist, mama clues. Okay. So please put the pieces together. What do you think is the proper interpretation of this? Yeah. My name is the American Abusia Mati, the American Asia. Mo amubetie no Real FM no break his internet near the adeni nyina mesremo. Mo mfa nchen but eyadesua very important say mechrechere ewi in this series episode 20. Enti mubetumi use radio line no 0244 898 115 0244 898 115. Mubetumi use radio line no. Now me pese mo boa me. What do you think is the interpretation of this verse? Matthew chapter number 17, verse number 27. No? In connection with Adisianoa, what do you think is the interpretation? As a child is saying, we don't need fish, we want money. And Jesus says, go to the sea, cast the hook, the first fish that comes up, you're going to open its mouth, there is money. And Jesus said to him, nevertheless, lest we offend them, go to the sea, cast in a hook and take the fish that comes up first. And when you have opened its mouth, you will find a piece of money. Take it and give it to them for you and me. Mususu say, what's its application here? Give me the practicality. As this same Peter who was told a while ago say, you will be fishers of men and not fishers of fish. So put the pieces together and help me here. Now for me rapo additionally up. Remember to like the transmission, and when we are done, you say, I'll put the full tape. We live no I hear piece. So I will put the full tape as soon as we are done with our lesson. Make a submission. What do you think? As a child is saying, okay, so George Echo said about simple. It means God can provide through many things which won't even make sense to us. Great one day. Also for our But I'm live on Facebook right now. No bet to me the more suggestions about right, more comments, more answers. Eddie Abba. I'm gonna read it also from here. Monfanchame Fati Nukbolo. I think I skipped your message. I haven't been able to read it. And Edem Dugby, all the way from KD. I see you're also with me. Sorry, I couldn't read yours. It was an oversight. But could you please assist me? What do you think is happening here? That Christ says, look, Peter, we don't have money here. But I'm telling you, we can get money from where you don't think we should. So go cast a hook into the sea. You're going to have a fish. The first fish that comes up, just open its mouth and you find money. He did that and there was money indeed. What does that tell you? How do you relate it to Adisiana and Opei? Yes, let me make sure say, and Komona Yedi on this episode 20, what must see? So far, dear George Ekope and ordinary submission Abba. So simple, it means God can provide through many things which you won't even make sense to us. Also for Rieta, the point is God expecting everyone to work. Okay, Mr. Furiata answer no. What do you think is the submission? As someone Christ will say or Danedi Ewa as a Chinese. All right, Ebrinchi. Okay, Mame Pepe say because Jesus knew that Peter has nothing in his hands except his occupation, which is fishing. So Jesus used that. Yes, that is a possibility. That indeed is a fact. The Mesophoria tank and also a fact. But relating the verse to Adisiana and Yesuano, let me come in to support in the Yenuanum Akatu. You see, number one, if we want money, we must look for people who have it among them and ask them for help to go and pay the tax. How can you tell me to go and menkoto dawa na fish na obebano and nam ewonenum? No, it doesn't make sense. Say, betumi akwa kunya sika free apata enum. In relating it to this morning's lesson, me pese me chiremo the moral, the lesson here. You see, I have mentioned in this transmission over and over again, said the people we look down on and write them off. Sankofono, they are the gateways to our blessings. I've just said that. Dear Yesu Pachire Waheni. You see, Ansana on Sabeka fish, Peter had to work. Ese okunsion, ese fadawa. Wo yedenam and the yinam. Being a fisherman, he knows that there must be a bait. And once the fish takes the bait, then you can get the fish from it, the money from its mouth. So we have to get close to the people whom we don't consider so much miabwai. Then that's will be anyone. Why do you say we and that's will be no say bit me be a free mono. Get close to them, work on them. What did I say? He had to go there to the sea, walk to the place, cast the hook. It means you must go and work on them. Once you're done working on them, then you get your money. Simple. Oya badani, oyo hianiwa, umu oya korizani. Work on the person. Have time. Have good thoughts. Work on the person. As you work on the person, you open its mouth. You first give it food. That is the input you make in the person's life. Guess what? Your money follows. It's as simple as ABC. So look at it. From Genesis right down through the whole of the New Testament, God never considers anybody useless. God never writes anybody off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lesson for episode 20 on money series. I want to repeat the principle. Anytime you write people off because they are poverty stricken, because they are not socially affluent, because anytime you do this to them, you disconnect yourself from those who are readily available to help you. And I also mentioned that se webusunya fu nyina ye de omo ba ona se na ntumi nhwe wo me bi nka unyanye yi when why ye dru baby unye nru ho. Okay, because I am very certain say untumi nhwe mo mani nsi me bi nka until you die. We don't get money finished. All right, it's a process. Follow the principles. Anopei unim se otisa yebebo radimpaye. Okay, yebebo radimpaye. Na yasre se ohiyemobo. Later this evening, yisiana yebabe tuwa adisuyaniswa. This is episode 20. Yebabe ye sundown service noa. We will do a direction. Yes. We're going to do direction. Number 1. Saadi no ayeye no say I am passe yayibia with all the treatment we've given people. Say I am passe yayibia. Esisi yenshira bibri kwine. I drive a lot of good people, who influential people who could have been kind and a blessing unto our lives. I drive umunyina away. So we need to restore the connections. All right? And as we restore the connections, we will pray, we will do as directed by the Spirit of God. And then with the repentant mind, we can begin to do well financially. Remember, it is blessings that create financial doors. A rich man cannot bless you. A rich man can give you money. It is when it does say, Omu will be no bebuawa wavija. Omu will be no bit to me a mausika nibi. There is so enkosi nahi no be mausika. Bien home. Say you say, oh Fabinoa, oh win some brony at the adena who are writing off no. Busiani be now writing off no dear when need none so. Name on your brutina when need done so because obey me as or say no just $50 and a £50 cra a yiska a jonuna ubunua. Enkosi nahin as any pan bit me amount $50, £50. Whereas you could have opened or received a blessing that will bring more financial door openings. Be smart. Be wise. Listen to me. Neti adisuyani asopem. Yaba besere radi home bible. Eti mamisi mabako. Meba.
Mama comment tu. Monyo nyakuboni. Ale banu sumunyi ni. Nabia bi o maja fie. Sankati sa. Amen kantre mo se. Because yes baby ama. Sebe kwa. Besa baby o. Ani am wono. Ona mo so betena. Yes no asemi. He said every bar. Yes baby o wiem. When I will get to the money na beso refi da kamene mu. Be share o wiem o de kwa asase ni so a. Ya reni ho. Osu ni ho. Akwanhye wo bi ni ho. Wori mani da so ho. Se wo de no a. I said amen. 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 I will never want you all no. Akwansi ya wo adosu bebre intimidie beninyi bie mo me kofie ah omamba bebia usu awere ho ni wono kena yenko omamba bebia usu awere ho ni wono kena
All right. Me send me busa ubiati additional say. Just give me thumbs up. Say what's additional here, please. Just give me thumbs up. Na me will say what's you see. Na yensre erade ho mobruhunu. Na eyasemu. Yensre obade yawe ho mobruhunu. Senya beya. We will never be tempted to go that way ever again. If you have understood the lesson in its context, please just give me thumbs up. Na afi. Minyina yinyina na emuna yemo erade mpaye. Said ye na mekano. There are many things you may relate to. Ewa disnya wim. Momo bebre you might relate. Said ye mekano bia because of how wretched I was some time back. And I meant to me unko saati bienim. Anwene sa musu adwene amfa mobi. And write people of, ebia na tibia mikom nintia. Ebia seye na manko saati bienimu anka menso meyesa. So what you see? Penny force from ohi until da. Na ansana menkenson ebisi nitrase no. Na ewone asase akachire no. Echi emma adwumayefo bosses, leaders, pastors. This way pastors in Bibri wo this particular message omuti for, and they think that they are getting money. They are being blessed. It's not blessing. When you yoke with the rich and they give you money, it's not blessing. It's not. That's why this is how I know, say, Mary a very big. This is how I know. Because wamwa unyankopon do mama mi nyina yenkofo a, you will never conclude say they are very rich. A woman fesika nye de enye hwe. Or average economic grounds, any low level ne normal sika or no one ho nchire no or non so a the obedi the obenom the obese kakra any womwa any bi kura any nyankopon the omabremi. That tells me how great my end is. And when I see the situation like that, it gladdens my heart. It is all your software na wuti me na wo hwe me any software me ne monam no munti asem we. When you are fine with people who are rich in the church, they don't bless you. They only give you money and it will finish. But when you are close to those who don't have, you treat them well. You give them hope. You work on them. You believe in them. You bring them up. You nurture them. They are blessing you. The rich man will hardly open his mouth and say, God bless you. He would rather dig his hand in the pocket and give you money. If I'm lying, tell me. Most often than not, when you do things and it pleases rich men, they want to give you reward. Cash, car, property. They want to give those things to you. I would love that you would raise your own property. I would love that you go and buy your own car rather than, I'm not saying when somebody gives it to you because of something you did, it's wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But the point is, I'd rather you go through the process, get the land, build yourself, and have a story and a testimony to give. So if you're a pastor and you're listening to me, I will advise you to get closer to the people you are forsaking. You don't visit their homes because you will never get money from them. You don't visit their stores because you're not even going to be given transport. You want to associate yourself with those who have the financial means. They will give you money. You don't get blessing. Okay? It is all your software. Do you know those who have been rejected, those who are sick, those who are smelling? This is where you must let your focal point be. I'm telling you, me say a honum nesikawo ichibomodia nefu enichreho. MFA says, Pastor, I understand the lesson and I understand your point, but I also believe that life is about balance. Well, we'll talk about the balance later, but right now, I just want you to understand that don't be forsaking and neglecting the sheep that are not doing well. Because if you're a shepherd and you do that, I will leave. You disconnect yourself from the proper blessing. Work for blessings. Don't work for money. That's the point I want to make. And at this point, say obiwo asembisa, obichumi diaba, na afei, ye yano ansana yasre eradiho mobruhnu. Obi wo question on famra na yenyi ano emfa emmano. Maybe phone line no atum 0244765050. At the moment ne the offering WhatsApp Emma. Enti say sofo ufuriacha ewo no temenka. Mesre se obedi enim na wabompa ye na yemfa nsre obo ade yawe. Onyankopon ti asefo ne yemmompa ye. Oni enim no mompa no nsre erade se. Se kanino ni enimpa ni enim se asem no sei enetie. Eno nti yesre no bebi a yafom bebi a yachie bia no. Ohun ye mobono mfa yemfom so enyina encheyen. Obo sampa ni wi anam so mabo ede etwato na ya sorry so ebono 9 pepepa ye besan ehiem na ye de homeda ni nyina abanawiye etimisre se sofo ufuriata ewo hwa ebra yiguso a ye twen ensemisa no na ofresi 0244 898 115 eso 0244 898 115 ofre ediasi saline so and only line maybe tum for the calling na uni enim emo empire emfa emayin. I have not connected any let me see if we can. Okay, announce says so be aye ready obe to me afraid ya fa WhatsApp number 0244 765050. Yeah, you were online. No. Okay, I think I can pick a call from that way. So, eti ube chumia free EDC 0244 765050 WhatsApp line. No, and know your WhatsApp. Yeah, me. If you are led by the Spirit, I think Bishop Furiata hasn't gotten the message. So if you're led by the Spirit, obi to me afre ediafa WhatsApp on that number. Na afi metumi apeke na yedi enkomo wabosa mpaye no ede amayen. Eno ye 024476 WhatsApp no 0244765050. And local number me di children also eye 0244898115. Yeah, it's in radio singing and Real FM ne online radio ni nyina no. Stand by as we prepare. Okay, I got a call. Hello. Our home. Oh, okay. Mr. Furiata, a line no assign a call. Let me see if I can get him back. Let me see if I can get him back. Okay. Our home, Accra. No cray. But I'll say. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And Nana Yamompai. Amen. Amen. Yes. Yes. Amen. Yekosua esre wo otumfo Yahweh. According to Jeremiah chapter number 17, verse the number 9. Eyawo na ohwe adwenimu na so akomahwe. Yemo bebre na no na yinim ne sei. Directly or indirectly, some of us may have written people off, and by so doing disconnected ourselves from those that were readily available to help us. As we have been led by Ms. Oforiata to seek for your forgiveness, we are also asking for a reconnection. We are also asking, say, Erade ubesiesie yadwene. Nasa etrimupo, any perception no ayikura. Ever those that are not well to do, no. Ebese sanemu yehunu say, ye pe baby a ehira ewa eyesafo ne ho ene ebenya no. Ye de yakoye nipa a yente honhom niema bebre ase. So even as we prepare to meet during sundown, we are also asking that, Father, you direct us according to your spirit, that we will not be found wanting, and that under the influence of your direction, all the blessings and the connections that were lost will be restored. Let there be a restoration so that we can also proceed with restitution. Yada wase, humedevra. Se wakaya ho. Womo a etie no Real FM, womo a etie no online radio no so. Omo nyina bija obi bia de hye wonsa. Say in the course of the series, Kosua ne reveal the principles that are necessary for our wealthy and successful lives. That we, at every point, will be willing and ready to take the kingdom to places and nations across the globe. Yada was the spirit that came to teach us this morning. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.